And here we are, spawning in the bottom left in the red. He is, of course, from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the online warrior, Cure. And his opponent, spawning in the upper right in the blue, he is, well, the Kingslayer. You may know him as Zest. So, man, it's actually been a moment since I've covered a... Well, actually, that's not true. I did Classic versus Innovation off of replays on Sunday. So, I should say it's been a while since I've done a PvP in the current patch. Because, you know, I don't think I've done one since I moved. Which was, what, 3 weeks ago. Started moving June 8th. It's June 28th. But yeah, just about 3 weeks, 21 days. So it's been a minute. And I'm excited to do one again, especially, you know, Zest. It is Cure. What time is it? It's early morning in Korea. What time is it in Korea right now? Just after midnight. So really not a bad time at all for the Koreans. As well, they play late. Well, actually, that's not quite true because Zest played in EU today, I believe, which means that he was up really early and he's still playing on through it. Granted, a lot of the players, they just build this into their schedule. I talked to Vanya, he's like, yeah, when I was doing the Exxon Cup more when I had time for that, he was like, yeah, I go and I have the Exxon Cup built into my schedule, and I know it's going to end at like 6 in the morning, Russia time, more often than not. So I just do that. I pound a bunch of energy drinks that I need to stay active, and then I crash out. I crash for like 24 hours. I'm like, you know what? Valid. I don't think that's the healthiest way to do things, but when this is your job and it's what you got to do, I respect it. Absolutely. So we will have an Adept moving on in, but with the 2 Marines here and the SCV to buffer, probably not going to get a lot done. As the Adept actually just going to look to sit on top here, but with the 4 Marines, yeah, this Adept not really going to get all that much. In fact, we might even see Cure move on out here and maybe try to force something with this Adept, as he is adding 2 additional barracks behind this. And we see kind of this is a build that Bjorn has really been enjoying more than anyone else. You get 2 bases, fine. It's a Marine expand, it's not a Reaper expand. And then you get Stim, you get combat shields, you move out on the map with like 21 odd Marines, and you hope to kill your opponent. Now, it is absolutely a variable build. There are times when it looks, you know, insanely good. When you just, you know, stim on in there, you kill 30 workers, your opponent GG's, and you're like, ha, I'm God. And then there are times it doesn't. There are times when the Protoss player has enough, they're in the proper positions, they have the proper shield batteries, and you stim on in there and you get like 2 probes and the entire army dies, and then you die. So it's a super binary matchup. You really don't see a lot of games where it's like, okay, well, this didn't kill, but it also didn't kill me. Although, I mean, you do see games like that. And in particular, there's a variant of this that Bjorn, I think Bjorn's the only one I've seen do this, where he gets like a 250 third base, and it's only 2 barracks the first, then he gets the third one. He still does go for that timing, but it's just not quite as powerful. But again, 250 third base, that's a massive economic boost there, because that's faster than you get a standard third. That's faster than you get a third base in like any other build in PvT. And then if his opponent's going for a charge lot build, as what one might do to defend this, he says, okay, I'm going to build up to 150 supply, a lot faster than I otherwise would, and I'm going to go kill you then anyways. And it equalizes out. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it's just this unbeatable build. I mean, very clearly we would see it more often if it was, but it's interesting, right? It's just not quite as all in as this 3-racks build that Cure has opted to go for. As that's for his part, we have 1 forge on the way, not 2, which granted shouldn't surprise anyone unless you've seen the oh, okay, yeah, there we go. We have 2 Marauders in the mix here. Now, we will not have concussive shells, but 2 Marauders do add DPS against Stalkers, and a bunch of SCVs have been pulled. This is as committed as it gets. There are some builds where it's not all that committed. Okay, so that's actually a lot of sentries here for Zest. And Cure may wait for concussive shell. So there's 1 sentry that should be able to prevent Cure from finding his way on into the main base, into the natural area, we have a lot of shield batteries on the way, but the probe's going to scout this out. Says, okay, look, here's where the army is now. But Kira's found his way on in. Stim on in here. The force fields are actually going to be rather nice indeed, but I'm not sure there's going to be enough. So blink is done, I believe. Yes, that was not canceled here. Starks are going to have to keep blinking on backwards. The shield battery overcharge is just not going down. It is healing everything up to its fullest. So many workers are going down, but now the army has gotten on top of things. The rest of the shield batteries are running out of energy here. Stalkers are having to warp on in. And you know what? Yeah, a couple probes went down, but this is just not working here for Cure. Not at all. He's got an army lead, but more and more shield batteries on the way. Bunch of blink stalkers. The entire army from Cure that he has right now, it is heavily damaged. And every time he stims, Zest just runs away. So now Zest, he's up 16 workers. He's not ahead on army supply, but he's not really stupid far down. And he's just gonna be able to take this fight. Now, concussor cells are going to be a problem, as they were allowed to complete. But Zest is blink micro. It's too good. This is actually Korea. He can get away with this. So, blink is done. Charge is on the way. Forge on the way as well. And did he cancel that forge? Yeah, he did. A good decision there from Zest. Make sure he just had as many minerals as possible to get shield batteries. And Zest's held his third base against this timing. Normally, you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to lose my third, but against the SCV pull version, at least, you're like, I'm going to lose my third, but whatever, I'm going to keep my natural, no big deal. Zest kept his third base. He's up 21 workers. He pretty much had his cake and was allowed to eat it too. What do we have? More barracks on the way. So this is going to be 7 barracks play coming on in from Cure. Once again, he is committed. This is all in. He understands that he's not going to last in a long game against what Zest has going for him. But I'm not even sure that a mid-game timing is really going to help him here, because, well, charge is just about done. +1 attack's just about done here. Zest is building the army that he needs to really deal with this just mass stimmed bio with very few medevacs. Do we have any medevacs? No, we don't. So the first 2 are just about to hit the field right now. And yes, tank timing is scary. There are some really scary chokes to deal with tanks, but we already have Colossus on the way 2 by 2. We have charge done. +1 attack is done in 20-25 seconds. And all that being said means that this is going to be damn hard for Kira to fight his way on. And he does have a 20 army supply lead. That's kind of expected at this point in the game. And Zest has got a lot more, right? He has been allowed to get away with a lot more, especially, look, I mean, with the sentries here, Kira's not really going to be able to find his way out onto the high ground all that easily. But, you know, there's a tank here in that medevac, and that should do something. There we go. The force fields will be able to keep things out. Now, a couple gateways may go down, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. And Kira's actually wedged himself into a really interesting position where he can either attack on into the natural third base area, or he can theoretically lift on up into the main. Now, he won't, because he does not have enough medevacs. But that is the theory here. Now, Zest, I guess he's waiting for maybe +1 armor, as that one Colossus is getting shelled away. You gotta move that one. Zest wants to move that, keep that Colossus alive. And he's just gonna lose the Colossus for free. That's unfortunate. It takes like 7 tank shots, or however many tank shots it needed to go down. I'm actually not sure what the number is on that. And you know what? Cure's putting himself in Zest in a bit of a constricting zone right now. And I guess he's waiting for 2 more Colossus, extended thermal lands, armor's done in 12 seconds, and additional weapons. Okay, yeah, this is fine. As much as, you know, maybe Zest didn't want to lose that Colossus. He's gonna be fine here. So we will have the tanks. They're gonna move on forward. A nice concave here from Cure, but now it's time for the Zealots to move on in. Now it's time for the Colossus to take their fire. The extended thermal lance is now done, but it was not done for the first engagement, as this is a massive concave on in from Zest. But Cure, he's winning the fight on the right hand side. He's winning the fight on the left hand side. Cure, he's winning it. I don't understand this game. GG. Cure, he just takes it. Okay, those 2 tanks were untouched. What a game. Cure takes game 1. So Zest in game 2, this is perfect. It's a normally timed Templar Archives coming on down. Looks like it's going to be a blink opener once again, although Zest does enjoy DT openers against Terran players in particular. I mean, he likes DTs in general. But there was a time at the start of this year where he was just going DT drops every single game and winning with it because he was good at it. But that's not going to be this game here, as we do have Blink underway. And Cure, he's doing something a little bit different. It will be Widowmine drops in this game. No stim timing just now, but here's the thing, right? Everything that Zest can see says he doesn't know. It could be the stim timing. It could be Hellion drops. It could be DT drops. It could be battle cruisers for all he knows from what he has seen. So nice job from there from Cure, making sure that Zest does not find his way on into the main base, at least not at any reasonable timing. But yes, it will be one of my drops coming on out from Cure, and most likely it's not going to do damage. It's going to do like the bare minimum because well, Zest is a pro player, and he's good at that kind of thing. That being said, I mean, Zest was sloppy in game one. His hold was really good, but his final hold was not. He engaged right before extended thermal lance did finish. He didn't really have the surround he needed. He let one Colossus die to tank shots before he even took the engagement. So I wonder which version of Zest we'll see. There we go. The Widowmine is now scouted on out. I wonder which version of last game's Zest we will see. Whether it's going to be the Zest of I'm going to lose a free Colossus, or whether it's going to be the Zest of I'm going to hold a third base against your SCV pull stim timing. Well, for the moment, it looks like it will be the former here, as the Widowmine drops will be wholly unsuccessful as there are Stalkers on the map to intercept them. But I like this. He says, okay, well, you find me once. Time to just drop a Widowmine on the map on the off chance I get a Stalker or something, and I'm going to go drop with the rest of it. I'm just going to sit there out on the corner of the map, and well, we're going to see what you want to do about it. And this is interesting, actually. Ravens, for the most part, have fallen out of favor in TVP. You don't see them nearly as much as you used to. You know, it's not the whole I'm going to get a Raven because it's going to do good. It's going to keep me safe, and then I'm going to push with it. I'm going to disable some Colossus because, in all honesty, the Blink Stalker into Colossus opening that we have seen so much of, it's not as much anymore. Right now, it's really Blink Stalker into Charge Lot to deal with these timings, and that's a lot better. It really does a lot better at dealing with it. But we have a bunch of Stalkers warped on in. This is, of course, 4-gate Blink Stalker pressure here from Cure. And yes, there is one tank, but there is only one, as the Raven just gets targeted down immediately. More Marines coming on in. We do have two tanks here. The SCVs have to be holding to defend this, but the Stalkers, Zest has just won this game, I think. Yeah, there are submarines, but there is no stim. Not even close. More and more Stalkers getting warped on in. Zest has realized the timing that Cure was trying to hit. He says, look, I'm just going to hit you first. So we will see what am I drop going on in. Is it going to get anything? Well, 9 workers is not insignificant, but it is insignificant in the scope of the 20 workers. The 20 workers and counting that Cure has lost in this game, and he still can't fight the army. We're still going to see more and more warpins coming on in. The probes have been pulled. That's going to be just about it. I mean, Zest should start mining rather soon now. The War Prism's not even coming under fire. This is just going to be it, just like that. Zest, he's found the position. He's found that opening that he was looking for. Cure is on 15 supply. GG, Zest. He's going to equalize things. Game 2 goes the Blue Protoss player. Where are we in this game? Is that a reactor? Ooh, we have a reactor first coming on in from Cure in game number 3. Should be Marines behind that, of course. And this means that he has, well, he has a couple things he can do with this. This does mean he has gas to spare. So this could be kind of a stim timing build, like we saw in game number 1. There we go. Second barracks is on the way. So yes, absolutely. This is going to be some semblance of a stim timing build. But as we don't see a third barracks underway just yet, this could be the Beyond build, where he's going to save up just enough to get a third base at 250. Okay, there we go. Third barracks underway, and this is actually rather good for Zest. And you might say, Bayo, why is a proxy Stargate against 3 barracks good for Zest, right? That's just going to be a lot of Marines. I mean, true, but here's the thing. Marines, they don't really deal with the Void Rays with shield batteries all that much. They don't do enough DPS to knock Void Rays down. Now, granted, this just could be a proxy Oracle. Actually, I'm sorry, that's what it is. That's absolutely what that is here. So we do have the natural done for Zest. So he's going to look to move on in, and suddenly, I'm going to say this was good for Zest. The answer is no. Because, well, it's going to be an Oracle that's going to fly on in. It may get some damage. We'll get a scout on out, but then we're going to have a lot of stim bio. It's going to run across the map, and Zest has committed his tech to things that are not Stargate tech. And actually, Interesting. 6 Marines are going to run across the map here. 6 Marines against 1 Stalker, 1 Adept. The Stalker and Adept should win that fight, especially, well, as they might run backwards. But really what this is a scout. The probes are going to actually get pulled to defend the Adept. Adept's not going to go down, but maybe we're going to see some probes die. Yes, 2 workers will go down at the end of the day. And now the Oracle's going to fly on in. It's going to say, oh, wait, there are 5 more Marines. Okay, let's see what's up here. And he will see the barracks. And the damage, of course, will be equalized. Zest, he's up 6 workers because, well, he's a Protoss player. He does have Chrono. But I gotta feel like the potential for damage that Cure would have in this game, it's been stunted. He lost a couple of workers and really didn't get a lot, but whatever, fine. But it's known, Zest knows what's happening. He's still gonna take a 3rd base. He still says, "Oh, look, whatever." And because it's been scouted, Cure, he's like, okay, I know what's up. He's got a factory on the way. He's not going to really commit too hard to this. He may look to move out anyways once he has stim and combat shields. But this is not going to be the build of game 1 where he pulls SCVs and just really all-ins on this. I don't think. Yeah, no, it's certainly not. Not with the gas on the natural, not with the eBay on the way. But he will have a timing. He's got his 2 Marauders that will sync on up with everything as he looks to move out on the map here. And he still will have a powerful army. He's up 10 army supply. And Zest, well, he's not going to have any tech for this. He's just going to have Stalkers. As the Oracle will look to fly on in here, but there should be enough Marines. And with stim, actually, the Oracle will stay alive on 4 HP. So Oracle will stay alive here. That's going to be rather nice. But now it is, I think it's Cure's turn to move out on the map. He's got, again, a big army. He does have those couple Marauders. He has concussive cells on the way, +1 as well. And he's going to look to really just move out on the map, stim on into the natural, kill really as many probes as he can, and go from there. Whether he will be successful or not, that's a different story. I think Zest is prepared enough for this that he's really shouldn't lose too much. But maybe Cure can kind of sneak his way on in, convince Zest that he's going to move on into the 3rd base, but instead he moves on into the natural, something like that. Actually, pretty cool move here from Cure. He's not even really moving out on the map. Okay, the Oracle will go on down. He found value. Only 3 workers went down, actually. But Cure is just sitting here. He's like, I know your army's probably going to come on through here, so I'm just going to sit here as a trap on the high ground and stim on top of you. But Zest is not interested in that. Zest is not interested in moving out anytime soon. He's like, yeah, look, Cure, you have an aggressive build. You got to come to me. I'm not going to make this easy on you. And I think that is absolutely the correct read. The longer this game goes, of course, the better it's going to be for Zest. He will have his Colossus. He will have +1, extended thermal lance, all that fun stuff. But now, well, Cure, he's going to move on out with a little bit more. He will, of course, get his 3rd base on location. He does have to do that. He is behind in this matter. Although, realistically, 6:30:30 is the standard for the 2.5 base, +1 stim combat shield timing. So, it's kind of funny. Cure's pretty much gotten to that position regardless. It's a different way to get on into that build, but at the end of the day, he's now hitting with it. Maybe with a couple less medevacs here. He's just going to stim on in. A full 360 surround. Yeah, there's a shield battery overcharge, but they can only heal so much. A full massive surround. Everything from Zest is dying. What a move here from Cure. This is so cool. So the Immortals will go down. The army does go down. And yeah, I don't think this is game ending for Cure, although as I say that, he's got rallies coming on in, but the Stalker's going to blink on forward. Marines are going to be forced to stim and die. But Cure, he's doubling the army supply of his opponent. He already got 1 Immortal, and yes, we have Widow Mines on the field. Now the Stalkers blink forward. A nice split there from Cure at the last second. And you know, I think if Zest did not have that Stargate on the map, I think Cure actually does kill, because a decent amount of the army of Cure, when it was A moves forward, actually aggroed on top of the Stargate and allowed Zest to survive a little bit longer. But now Cure, he took a decent trade, but not an incredible one. In fact, he's down 200 minerals or 200 resources, and he still really doesn't have his 3rd base up. It's not an orbital yet. He only has 54 workers. He's only 13 army supply ahead, and yeah, he's got doesn't even have an upgrade lead anymore. So, well, he will be able to knock this Stargate down. We'll be able to knock down that map presence. And that's going to be just about it. So extended thermal lance, underweights, and a little over halfway done. +2 on the way as well. And here, I mean, he's got a big army, but I don't think it's big enough. It's big enough to drop. It's big enough to cause havoc with, but certainly not big enough to really make a full-on engagement happen with. Maybe if he catches Zest off guard, but no, it looks like he's just going to look to, at the very least, knock down the Cybercore. That's always just a little bit of free damage when you see that Reaper Cliff happen like that. Maybe a couple Stalkers die too, unless Zest is paying attention, which he is. So the Cybercore does go down, Stalker does go down. There we go, another Stalker will die here. And maybe there's a gate that dies too. I don't think Zest really wants to engage on into that. He really doesn't have to. That being said, of course, Zealots on the other side of the map, they're going to try to find some damage, but with the Widow Mines here, they will be wholly unsuccessful. Maybe on the third base. Yes, on the third base. It really shouldn't be too much, though. Well, actually, it is. This one Zealot, this one Hero Zealot is just doing such a good job here. 5 workers have gone down, and make it 6, make it 7, make it maybe even more. If you're not really reacting appropriately, because I think he thinks that he's dealt with it. Actually, well, no, he's just got a Widow Mine drop coming on in, so 7 workers will go on down. That's kind of equalizing damage, and there we go. The Zealot will finally die here. Cure solidly on 3 bases. He's up 3 workers in a game where realistically the Protoss still wants to be up workers, and now we got a Doom drop coming on in to the main base here because the army of Zest is out of position. Yeah, he's going to spam some weapons, and actually that just means that Cure is going to run away because he really cannot take that fight. Not now. The entire army from Zest is here. Widow Mines are going to come off just barely. They were coming off a cooldown. They were just about to go on off. That was a bit ballsy there from Zest. Absolutely. There we are. +2 attack on the way. We don't have a second eBay. We do have a second eBay, but it's not being researched from just yet. But realistically, I think we're going to see Cure hit a +2, a 2-1 timing with +1 air weapons, a bunch of Vikings, and just look for that big concave stim to win, do all that fun stuff. Zest, though, he's getting himself absolutely prepared for the late game. He's got DTs. He's going to have +1 armor here, so we will have Cure kind of asynchronously. Actually, no, never mind. It won't even be asynchronous. We will have Cure roughly equaling the, or actually, yes, I can talk, equaling the upgrades of Zest in about 20 seconds. Zest does have +3 on the way, so not even that is going to grant Cure succor in this game. As he has noticed, of course, that he is missing his armor upgrade, so we will start that now. And actually, so Zest is going to find the army of Cure. Cure is going to find the army of Zest in the middle of the map. And Zest, interestingly enough, he is getting aggressive here. And I think... Oh, that one Widow Mine. Nice little bit of damage there on a bunch of Zealots. I think that Cure has done a decent enough job of hiding the Viking count from Zest that he's going to be pretty happy about it. He's got 3 Vikings per Colossus, which is just about where you want to be. He is equal on upgrades. He has his armor on the way. +1 air attack is about 20 seconds out, and I think that's the timing that we're going to see Cure really look to hit once he maxes out. Actually, he's going to have some ghosts here as well. This is not an army that that Zest really wants to fight here, and yeah, he is going to start backing up on it. What do we have? Is this? Oh yeah, 14 Vikings. Maybe that's even a little bit overbuilt. But now here we go. Cure is going to look to fight this army. And I mean, this is absolutely the valid decision here. One Colossus is just going to go down for free. Second one, well, it's not going to be go down for quite as free, but the Vikings, they're going to find their opening here. One Colossus goes down. Second Colossus goes down. Third one's going to die. The War Prism dies as well. All the Colossus are dead at this point. This was not the fight that Zest wanted to take. Not at all. The army here is going to stim on forward. Cure, he's up 40 army supply. He's up 50 army supply. And his army is just simply better. Not only is it up, it is better indeed. The Ghosts are going to land EMPs on top of everything, or at least they're going to attempt to. Now, the one upside here is we do not have enhanced shockwaves, so the Ghosts aren't really going to be able to hit those big buffer shots that they would like to do here. The Zealots, they're going to try to make something happen, but they will not be able to make anything happen here. Zest falling below 100 supply for the first time in 5 minutes in this game. The warp in at the 4th base will not be successful, as it will be taken on down. And now it's time here. The rally of Cure is indomitable. It is powerful. It's looking to move on in. Now, there are 9 DTs, and maybe that's going to be something, but there can be an EMP here. It doesn't even need to spend a scan. There we go. They go down. GG Cure. He takes a 2-1 lead. So this is going to be a Marine opening here from Cure, which could mean that he's going for the triple barracks build. Could also mean he's not. But he's won every game that he's played with it, and he's lost the game he didn't. So I would not blame him for going for something like that. It would make sense. I mean, you go and you do it, and well, it works out. What is Zest going to do in this game, right? He's tried a couple different things. They haven't all worked. And really, it felt like it was more of something that, well, That's not quite fair, because really Zest should have won game 1, and it was only just through the sheer willpower of Cure, I guess, that Zest was able to, that Zest did lose in that game. Maybe a little bit of greed from Zest as well. That last game, though, well, that was just a really good engagement around Zest, or around Zest's third base, the full 360 surround with all that stemmed bio. And that just really set the tone for things. That and Zest attacking on into 14+1 Vikings and a maxed out Cure with the surround. If he had hit a little bit sooner, maybe it would have worked out, but not then. Not at that time he did hit. And look at this. We are seeing, it's not the Beyond build, right? It's not double barracks into a 253rd, but we are still seeing that 253rd base on the way. 1-1 into a third base, which that's a kind of a TVT build. Oh, sorry, 1-1 into expand is what I'm thinking of, where you get 1-1 and then you get your natural. So not quite, but whatever it means, it does mean Cure will have an extremely fast third base. It means he will have an extremely fast third mule. So his economy is going to be booming in this game 3 on Romanticide. Makes sense. Romanticide, it's a large map. It is in fact given us some of our best macro games of the current map pool, maybe even the past couple map pools. Golden Wall's also up there, of course. Ice and Chrome. And poor one out for Ice and Chrome. It did not get the response that it deserved, because man, that map was really cool. Now Oracle's gonna fly in, it's gonna get a scout, it's also gonna deny the third base for a little bit of time, and it's gonna be difficult here indeed for Cure to really get an SCV over there for the time being to be able to finish that off. But there we go. It's gonna be a fourth base that finishes at 4:05 instead of 3:55, and it's 10 seconds, but it does mean that third mule will be a little bit faster. Let's see, Zest for his part, Robo on the way. 2 more additional gateways on the way here, which fine, makes sense. You want to get on up to 3 gateways as you take that third base. And it looks like Zest is just willing to accept the fact that, yeah, Cure's got a really quick third base. He really can't punish that in any way he would like to. I mean, the Oracle doesn't give you a lot of aggressive options, as it looks like it will move on. And hey, you know, 4 or 5 workers, or 4 or 5 kills is nice. 4 workers, a Marine. That's damage there from the Oracle. I mean, Oracles take 3 shots to kill an SCV, so it's a lot harder to get those really high worker numbers, worker bits of damage against a Terran player. And realistically, with how the income works out anyways, yeah, 3-4 workers. Zest is going to be pretty happy with that. And notice, well, we got double Forge on the way. We have a Templar Archives on the way, and a Robo Bay. So Zest is like, yeah, I did enough damage. I can have my cake and eat it too. Here in this game number 4, and if Cure, well, that end, of course, Cure opted for a quick third base, so it's not like he's going to get aggressive all that soon. His stim is going to be like a 7-minute, 630 stim. Combat shield's around the same, +1 around the same. So it's not, again, he doesn't have a lot of room to push for the next minute and a half, and that means the Zest can get his, third base, and get 1-1, and get Blink, and get Colossus. All right, but now we do have Cure moving out on the map just a little bit. He's got a tank. He's got a couple of Marines. Stim will be done. +1, combat shield, all that. And yeah, he's got his medevacs out behind this. So again, the 630 timing is what Cure is looking to hit here. But he's not using this to kill Zest. I mean, if he does, it's great. But he's using this to take his third base. He's using it to make sure that Zest does not punish him for the bit of economic greed that he has decided to go for in this game. But realistically, Cure shouldn't break Zest, not with the shield batteries, not with everything else. I mean, Zest has been greedy himself. We have double Colossus on the way. This, you know what, actually, the first Colossus will be out. Extended Thermal Lance is only just now getting started as the bio does stim on into this base. Tank firing strong. This is a nice concave. This is getting a little bit scary for Zest here. Cure is looking to move on in. The army is fighting strong. The Colossus is really, it's the only thing here that's keeping Zest alive. I guess that's the point of the build. But the bio will start to finally go on down. The tank will die. 5 workers die here for Zest. And Cure, he's going to take a good trade, but it will not end the game. Now, it's interesting to see here, Cure, he's actually going for Widow Mines, and really Widow Mines against double Stargate, or double Robo Colossus. Not exactly what you want. Really against any robo unit, to be totally honest. But now, well, we're going to have, looks like Zest here marauding out with a bunch of stalkers, and, well, he's going to find the army of Cure. Cure's going to find the army of Zest. But Cure really doesn't have that supply lead that he wants. He's only up 2 army supply, 2, 4, whatever, depending on production cycles, and that means he's going to have to go further. The game's going to have to go a little bit later here, as Zest is buttoned up on 3 bases. It's going to be very difficult, really difficult for Cure to really find some damage. I mean, maybe drop damage. We do see a drop on the left, drop going on in the right as well. But certainly this is not an army that Cure can fight front up. All right, so we will see this drop coming on into the natural. The scan to lets him know that really there's nothing here. So we will see a bunch of zealots warping on in, and, well, cool. Because that's not the real drop. As the, well, the cannons go down and Widowmines get off. That's fine. Actually, this is going to be a nice trade for Cure, because in the main base, this is where things are really happening. Your Stalkers are going to get recalled, but, well, Widowmines are actually going to get a lot of damage as well. So the Stalkers really cannot fight just yet. Yes, there are a couple more Colossus, but that's going to be it here, as the rest of the medevacs will be able to get on out here. 13 workers have died. And the Widowmines, they're still there. There's no observer. And now Cure, suddenly he's got 20 army supply. He will have +1 armor rather soon. The Widowmines, again, they're still there. And they got so much damage done in the natural. 7 more workers go down. Now Cure, he's up so many workers. He's up like 23 workers, something like that. The Widowmines, it looks like in the main base, they go off again. They don't get a lot because, again, there's just not a lot here to get. And Cure, really, he's just tearing Zest apart about. Yep, there we go. GG. That's it. Zest took too much damage. He's down 50 supply. That's going to be it.